Hello, everybody! We are back with the fourth round! The third round of the fourth Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series. I have got a good one for you. After that previous match, I am really excited to see how some of these more interesting decks play the field. But for now, I've got two decks that, while not outside of the realm of possibility in terms of what could be played in the upcoming format, are new in terms of metagame contention in Eternity Code. No more BSing around. I'm going to send you directly over to that game. I'll let them know that I'm in, and they will be off to the races. But it's going to be water, as I have already alluded to in the chat. One of the individuals who has yet to load into the game is playing the hand loop deck that everyone loves to hate. I think a lot of people are very frightened that this deck is becoming metagame relevant once again. Of course, it got a lot off the ban list in terms of Master Rule 5. It has the ability to make Bahamut Toad, which is something that almost no other deck can access. But also, the new Deep Sea stuff means that they get an Appointer of the Red Lotus that activates when you want it on your turn, as well as the ability to rip between 3 to 5 cards out of their opponent's opening hand. It will be playing against a deck that does not care if its cards are in the graveyard. I'm talking about Orchist. Now, this is the build of Orchist that I am most excited to cast. Obviously, Dingirsu features heavily in it, as it would in any Orchist build, but it also includes a significant amount of Mekk-Knight cards. It is kind of a World Legacy lore deck insofar as it is able to play a significant amount of enablers off of cards like Lib that make the deck more robust, more repeatable, more able to play through interaction, fiending negates early with the powerful suite of Mekk-Knight monsters, and finishing games late with repeatable Dingirsus and access to topologic Zero Boros. So I'm super, super excited to see how this match plays out, though we are still waiting for one of these two individuals to make it in. Now, both of these individuals are 1-1, kind of hedging away from casting any EXO people, because then the field gets too cluttered with people you've already cast. And plus, you know, we're going to get the Adamancipator mirrors, we're going to get the Eldritch mirrors, we're going to find them over the course of the day. Let's just have a couple of rounds free from that hell, and sit and watch some water. Chat says, we will swallow the water. Yeah, so that's not how that works. That's also a little gross. And we are still waiting. It looks like they might be just figuring out which server they're hosting on. I shouldn't have said we were going to go directly into it. That was a huge misplay on my part. Because, of course, this was bound to happen if I invited that. Out of all the messages to read, why that one? It was the grossest. Alright, and it looks like they have finally both loaded in. So we will make it there momentarily. As soon as they click start. Okay, we did it. Alright, so I'm excited to see in what direction the combos go. You know, water is a very odd deck insofar as it has the ability not only to board build, but when on the play also rip cards out of the hand. Both directions of that combo take radically different lines, so knowing what they're doing on their first turn is going to be critical to understanding what type of water deck they have built. Thanks, Golem Man Sam. MBT makes all of the stream misplays and never any Yu-Gi-Oh misplays. That is correct, and that is why to this day I am the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh player who has ever lived. Unfortunately, it looks like the water player has gone first, and this is not what you want to see. A Nibiru and an Ash Blossom, unfortunately. Very, very easy to play through Ash Blossom. Hasn't even committed to a normal summon. And Deep Sea Aria is a fantastic one. And I mean, this is just the power of water. Being able to activate Deep Sea Minstrel to start your turn, rip the Nibiru out of the hand, know that your opponent has a specific card in order to stop you. And now they know they can go off unimpeded for the remainder of the turn. Deep Sea Aria, of course, the newly printed Deep Sea Searcher in Eternity Code allows you to search Deep Sea Diva, whose normal summon enables a Nept Abyss. Nept Abyss from here goes from Goons to Add a Goons, and then Goons triggers will likely get a copy of Abyss Megalo, though we will figure out what the hand looks like based on what the add is. Abyss Megalo is going to be it. Wow, wow, wow. Deep Sea Minstrel. Heck of a card. Shocked it made it over here with that name. Probably would have changed it, personally, but hey, what do I know? Alright, so we're going to go from Abyss Megalo, discarding a Heavy Infantry and a Dragoons. Heavy Infantry, of course, you want to be finding at the end of your turn in order to enable more interruptions with something like the Atlantean Link monster, but not too bad as just a individual card that gets discarded. Goons, of course, can go into absolutely anything. And here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that Deep Sea Diva is a tuner? Alright, so Molten Glacia, the add to the hand, and we've got 4 in the graveyard. Oh, this is going to be it. All it is going to take is a Link Haribo. And I think we will see Molten hit the field. Yep, said Link Haribo has now been summoned. That's 5 water monsters in the graveyard. Here's Molten Glacia, and there's 2 cards out of the hand. Future Glow! Whoa, that's a crazy card. This is... Wait, what is the point of this card? I am completely transfixed at this card's inclusion. Maybe it's good for OTKs? Alright, so with purple out of the hand, we now know the hand has absolutely nothing relevant in it, and this is on Auroradon combos too. Are you joking with me? Making an Abyss Lacia here, basically just to free up zones, it looks like. And from here we can go into Dawn. Dawn will summon 3 tokens, and then we'll summon the 0/0/1 from deck. Oh, Chad has figured it out. This card's in there for shenanigans with the World Legacy spell. He doesn't know. Alright, so we're going to bring back 0/0/1, and then we will activate Auroradon's effect. Auroradon tributing itself in a token enables a very, very easy pivot to an O-Lion. The O-Lion with these 2 tokens have a very beneficial stat line that will make, of course, a Savage Dragon. And then after that O-Line goes to the graveyard, we're going to get a level 3 token to our side of the field. A perfect pair with Deskbot 0/0/1. Enables the summon of a Herald of the Arclight. So this is pretty powerful. We've ended on 2 negates, one that's repeatable, one that's Omni, one that's everything. I mean, I guess they're both Omni. An onboard Macrocosmos, Abyss Lacia, oh my gosh, and the last card in hand was a Pot of Avarice. Abyss Lacia with the ability to fiend a copy of something like Heavy Infantry if we are able to get it to our hand. And though we are out of battle phase because of that Molten Glacia, I mean, this still should be enough to end the game. Now, that Nibiru is going back to the hand, but the good thing about Minstrel is that if you use Minstrel specifically to banish something like Nibiru, whose utility is greatly reduced after the first turn, what on earth is your opponent going to do, right? Like, your follow-up plays are only going to need 1 or 2 summons maximum. This deck is so powerful. Should have held the Ash for what? I mean, if you hold the Ash for the activation of that effect, and they normal summon a Nept Abyss, you've been massively punished. If they normal summon a Deep Sea Diva, that's like the only scenario in which you're rewarded. If they activate the effect of Deep Sea Aria and you Ash that, and then they normal summon a Nept Abyss, you still lose the game. Alright, we have to go to the battle phase here in order to skip it through Molten Glacia, and they do get back to 4 cards, not nearly as hand loopy as you would have expected, but still quite strong. We've got 3 negates, 4 cards in hand, and Yakuman says, alright, let's go to game 2. Wow, wow, wow. So much power and it's still not a top tier threat. I absolutely disagree with you, chat. I think water is very much a top tier threat. I think the only reason you're not seeing it hedge out things like Adamancipator and Eldritch is one, it's been legal for exactly 1 week, and two, during that 1 week, the only premier tops were things like the Pro Play Tour Invitational, which of course was a huge cash prize and therefore rewards players who are already adept and good at, doing their combos. I think as this deck gets more tuned and as people get more practiced with the individual combo lines, which are not linear and vary wildly based on what your hand is, this deck will start to see major meta representation and will find a home alongside Adamancipator and Eldritch in Tier 1. If they go against Eldritch, they'll give them free pluses. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there are scenarios in which you don't want to be Mullen Glacier'ing your opponent's cards. Eldritch is, of course, one of them. But also, Orchist is pretty good at dealing with Mullen Glacier. If they send something like a Wand and a Nightmare, boy, are you happy about that. How do they balance this deck, though? If you're talking about specifically water, they're going to have to do something like ban Mullen Glacier. And I think that's actually a completely justifiable thing to do. Mullen Glacier has only ever been used in completely ridiculous decks like this that aim to prevent your opponent from playing the game entirely, not even setting up boards. Oh my gosh. Oh! And what do you do when you're staring down a hand like this? Oh, Lord. Okay, so Deep Sea Minstrel has activated here. And sent Psychokinesis to the graveyard. Whoa, double Dark Ruler no more. I'm shocked to see that. I thought it would be taking a Dark Ruler does absolutely nothing, of course, because they'll get it back. And you can't really prevent against it because you'll be trying to simultaneously stop a Dark Ruler while keeping the Abyss Scale on field for the second one. So I think Tamamo is correct in assuming the correct line here is to attempt to Mullen Glacier and hit like a pretty significant chance that you're going to discard at least one of them. Chat, you gotta explain to me what these psychic cards are in here for. I personally have no idea. Alright, so we're going to go for the Abyss Megalo here. That's going to trigger a couple of cards in the graveyard, a Dragoons and a Heavy Infantry. Really cool how Heavy Infantry is mandatory, so you can use it to stop goons. I'm playing Mekk-Knight with an Orchist Splash. Oh, I apologize for calling it Orchist. Not Orchist with a Mekk-Knight Splash. Mekk is first! And that's why I have all these psychic cards. Alright, from this position there are 5 waters in the graveyard, so I think we are likely to see not only the Mullen Glacier added to hand with the Dragoons, but Mullen Glacier summoned for absolutely no investment whatsoever. And as long as we're hitting one Dark Ruler, that should be the end of the game. The Equip spell will make quick work of the other. Gotta kind of be careful because you know your opponent has a purple. Ooh, and it looks like we've hit Dark Ruler plus World Legacy's Memory. That's very, very bad for Yakuman. I think Yakuman probably wanted to see the purple sent instead of the Memory, because you can activate Memory to proc your opponent's ability to go into their problem monsters. So with the purple still in hand, he has options. From this position, after your opponent sets up, you can special the purple into any zone that's available. Then you can activate Psychokinesis in order to proc your opponent's activated effect of their scale. Then you can activate Dark Ruler no more, and then get off to the races eating your opponent's monsters. To those asking why go first, if you're unfamiliar with like the history of Water, Water has historically been a go second OTK deck, and it still very much has the tools to do so. If you're not confident with your deck's board building ability, which you very much may not be on something like Mekk-Knight, but you are confident with your ability to resolve huge haymakers like Dark Ruler no more and Evenly Matched, and then win by virtue of mech plays or your opponent's resources being generally depleted from deck, 3 goons in the graveyard, for example, then there is an argument to going second, even against something like a hand loop deck. It may actually even pan out here. We have a way to resolve Dark Ruler no more with a monster on the field. We'll be able to walk over the Herald no problem. As long as you can out a vanilla Borreload Savage Dragon, this actually might work. And one set card, I think a lot is gonna depend on what that set card is. If it's something like a Solemn Judgment, it's gonna be a big problem. Otherwise, I think you wouldn't set it and you'd put the Auroradon over here. And if you do that, you know, then you don't give your opponent any column. So Psychokinesis activation here will proc the Mizuchi, I think? Oh no, if this negation is prevented, it won't. That's very interesting. It looks like it's not going to be. That's the Mizuchi, so here comes the Dark Ruler no more. I expect. Alright, we're going to see if the card is solemn, and it's not. Alright, from here we can purple. If that last card in hand, this is the one unknown, is a spell or trap, we can set it. We can walk over this Herald of the Arclight. Oh my gosh, even better! We can use purple to summon Girsu because it's a Mekk-Knight! And it looks like we've actually ended the game here, provided that set card isn't something insane. So because we're no longer under macro, we can use Orchest Girsu's effect proactively. We're going to send a copy of World Legacy World Armor, and if you've ever seen a generator deck pop off, you know where this is going. Alright, so here comes the World Legacy token. Give one to the opponent as well. Likely put it in the profitable zone here, the one under the spell and trap. Though I guess it doesn't really matter. Putting it in the extra monster zone enables a lot of other columns as well. Alright, so we're going to go into Linkuriboh here, and of course Lib afterwards. Lib can only be summoned if you have a World Legacy card in the graveyard, but guess what? World Legacy World Armor counts. From here you can set a World Legacy card from your deck. We're going to get Succession, most likely. He thought about that zone for way too long. Well, for what it's worth, you know, that's like the only point of interaction in this deck, is worrying about zones. Alright, we are going for Succession. Succession's going to activate here in order to get the hand back. Zahando! And when the hand is special summoned, it adds a World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. It's a very roundabout way to Stratos, but it is good enough, and it ends on a very powerful Link boss. So when Keymaster goes to the graveyard... Wow, that's a fantastic one. When Keymaster goes to the graveyard, you are able to shuffle a card back onto the deck, from the field into the deck. It won't be able to go into any of the normal stuff, just because World Legacy Memory locks you into Mekk-Knight monsters. But getting a Red Moon here is a great way to proc the effect, or the get off the field of Savage Dragon, which is arguably better than putting it back in the deck, because, yeah, Mermail will very happily just go into it again. And from here, we'll Mekk-Knight of the Morningstar. Do we have another Mekk-Knight in hand? No, we don't. We'll go into Astrum. This will proc the effect of Blademaster while Abyssalacia triggers on Go to the Graveyard, so a fantastic time to shuffle that sucker back. Herald of the Arclight in response, but of course its effect has been negated. So say goodbye to your precious Alacia, and this game is really turned on its head. So Avramax is now able to sit on the field like a big chunkus. In our opponent's next standby phase, we'll be able to get back this copy of Purple. They have no battle phase because Molan Glacia went to the field last time. Yeah, correctly going to the battle phase, you have to enter battle phase in order for it to be skipped. And now the Purple's back, we can do whatever we want. You know, people forget about this about Mekk-Knight, but when Purple returns to the field, you almost can't lose from that position. So Purple to the hand will get a blue as long as we have a spell or trap to set, and I believe we know we do. We can go into a blue, we can search a card because there's an opponent's card in that column. And that's going to go into a Girsu. Of course, we have not yet performed our normal summon, so let's summon that Girsu and activate its effect. Wow, and it looks like double Dark Ruler is going to walk with it. Incredible. We get to go to Galatea! There's Orca stuff in here too. We'll activate the effect of Galatea because that ding is banished and is a machine, unlike the remainder of the mechs. That's going to get a copy of Orchestrated Return, which we can activate to send a skeleton to the graveyard. That explains what the card in hand was. From here, we can go into whatever we want. Wow, this is such an absolutely hype deck. You know, I was ready for Water to just walk with the set. And picking blind second was absolutely ridiculous, but it's really paid off. I mean, resolving those haymakers was enough to shatter the Water board, and Water needs cards to get back into it, and World Legacy Scars! Let's go! Gives all Mekk-Knight monsters on the field 300 attack and defense, can discard a Mekk-Knight monster to draw a card, and, most notably, can banish 8 Mekk-Knights with different names from your graveyard or face-up field to send your opponent's entire deck and extra deck to the graveyard. What are we at right now? From your graveyard or face-up fields, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my god, 4, 5, 6 when it comes back. Oh, we're really close! Alright, so it's going to be Abystius, but very few targets that are super relevant for this. Fishborg Launcher to the graveyard is pretty good. So this is not the Fishborg that you remember, but if you have all water monsters in your graveyard, you're able to special this from your graveyard. It's banished when it leaves the field, but doesn't necessarily matter. You know, you use it for Halka-Fibrax setups or as extension. Abystius here could get Gunda. That would be okay. We haven't normal summoned, so we could also get, I don't know, something relevant. Pike. We'll bring Red Moon back at a zone. It's no Indigo, but it will negate the effect of Abystius. And we're going to battle phase. Looks like to walk into the Astrum and make it into game number 3. Wow, wow, wow. I am absolutely flabbergasted at that game 2. This is so incredible. I really hope... don't want to play favorites. Obviously, I'm very excited to see Water doing things, proving that it is as competent as people first thought, but it's really hard to root against a deck as cool as this one. Chat, absolutely correct. The Virgin Water hand rip versus the Chad extra deck Scars rip. If we see Scars resolve game 3, I will lose it. I will pog out of my mind. I don't think it's very likely, but... Yeah, no, the original purpose of Scars was that you would have to send all of the Mekk-Knights from your graveyard to the banished zone in order to trigger its effect. Of course, as they printed additional Mekk-Knights like Astrum, like Girsu, you stopped having to play the bad ones like Green and Orange. Thank you to all 408 of you who have joined me on this beautiful day to watch Mekk-Knight do its best to walk against Water. Got 3 cards ripped out last time. And resolving that copy of Dark Ruler No More was enough. The Psychokinesis coming in hot. Are we getting Mekk-Knight deck profile? I mean, you might. You'll get it if the deck tops. Now, remember, both of these players are X1, so they will have to win out from this position in order to top. But it's possible I can get it regardless. We saw your latest 10-minute testing. We know you run the orange one. Only in Sangan builds. I would never advocate running the orange one in any other instance. Alright, so let's see. Did Tamamo blink? Are they making their opponent go first? I think you probably do. You've seen the Mekk-Knight build. You know that it does very specific things. Yakuman says, I'm running orange. Making your Mekk-Knight opponent go first, knowing that their deck is almost exclusively Mekk-Knight stuff, seems pretty strong, and looks like it's just going to be a pass. Wow. Yeah, that makes... Whoa! A pass from the Water player! What on earth? What could have possibly been the setup that would encourage the Water player to pass? I'm trying to think what possible 5-card hand could have encouraged a pass from the water player. Maybe multiple copies of Deep Sea Aria. Well, I wouldn't have been shocked if it was a Mekk-Knight pass, but Mekk-Knight Ding here, able to set up columns on its own. Wow, drawing Gearsu just explodes the playmaking potential of this deck. You can make it purple on the way to Lib. We'll activate Lib's effect here, probably getting Succession. Succession, of course, can bring back World Armor, and World Armor on summon can add a Mekk-Knight card from your deck to your hand. You've got a lot of pretty strong options. So, for what it's worth, the Mekk-Knight player probably does have to OTK here, you know? If the water player is allowed a turn to set up, things could be very, very bad. So it'll be interesting to see if they go for extremely powerful setup plays. Oh my god, added scars off hand? Do we have it? Oh my gosh. It's like, if you aren't OTKing this turn, your opponent has access to Dark Ruler, to evenly matched, to all these extremely powerful haymakers that would otherwise make your life a really, really unbelievable issue. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 on board. No way we see Scars fire off. 5. Okay, there's orange. 5. 6. Oh my god, he's doing it. Spectrum Supreme. Key is a World Legacy card, but it allows you to get a banished one back. We already have a purple engrave. We're going to send that World Legacy card to the graveyard. To special a Mekk-Knight. We're getting green. That's 7. One more does it. Oh my god. Chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's happening. Oh my god, entire hand and extra deck. Is this it? Does that do it? Do we need one more? It's field or graveyard. It's activating now. It's firing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you get to keep 1 or 2, I believe. So you can keep Astrum and probably Indigo. Though I'm not necessarily sure. I haven't really done the math on Scars. Oh god. Okay, it looks like it was everything, and the entire hand! The entire extra! Toad triggers! If you get Nept Abyss back here, you could still do it. You could still do it. Oh, and look at all these haymakers! It was raw Sphere Mode Dark Ruler in the hand. That's why it was so bricky. If the mech player had faltered at all, they would have been all the way dead on this next turn. Oh, who is the hand loop deck? Riddle me this. Wow. And with 1 card back in the extra, it's going to be nigh impossible for the water player to make it out of this one. Oh my gosh. 2800 direct with the powered up purple Nightfall. We've already activated purple's effect this turn. Setting to in beneficial columns, passing it back. We know one of them is secrets. We have access to effect negation. They have 1 card in hand and 1 in the extra. There is nothing that could work from this position. Even a raw Sphere Mode doesn't do it with 2 monsters on field. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy that they resolved Scars. Oh, and the draw for turn is O-Lion. What a kick in the shins. Directly into the Astrum says, you have earned this one. You have proven to me which the superior hand loop deck is. The attack position token to enable the second attack for Honorable Seppuku. And World Legacy Orchest featuring the Scars combo has made it another round of contention. Incredible. Just unbelievable. I mean, I appreciate the metagame. I understand Eldritch and Adamancipator are the best decks. But sometimes Sometimes I wish the power level of the format was just a little bit lower, so ridiculous garbage like this could be any sort of playable. Oh man. That was unbelievable, Chad. Just unbelievable. Incredible. Best of luck to Yakuman. They have to win out for the remainder of the day for this to make top 8, but seeing that performance, the game 2 win through the hand loop for 3 off the back of Double Dark Ruler Psychokinesis. I mean, I feel like if anyone can do it, the deck with those cards can.